Ex-wife dumped our kids for her date, lied about being broke, while blowing my child support money with BF. I got full custody and sued. Now she's losing it all. So, let me start by saying this. I never expected to be the guy with the crazy ex-wife story. But here we are. My name's Eamon, and my ex, Brigitte, has taken crazy to a whole new level. It all started when my son Aiden called me from his friend's house. Brigitte was supposed to pick him and our daughter Isla up from school, but instead Aiden tells me she never showed. Turns out she was off on some date with her new boyfriend, Lars. Yeah, you heard me right. She ditched our kids to hook up with this douchebag. I was fuming. I mean, what kind of mother does that? I rushed to get the kids, feeling a mix of anger and guilt. They deserved better. Later, I found out this wasn't a one-time thing. Brigitte had been pulling this stunt for weeks, leaving the kids with anyone who'd take them so she could party and fool around with Lars. On top of that, Brigitte had been crying poor, claiming she couldn't afford anything despite the hefty child support I paid her. She even asked for more money, saying she needed it for the kids' necessities. Meanwhile, she was blowing it all on expensive dinners, weekend getaways, and who knows what else with Lars. One day, I noticed Isla's shoes had holes, and Aiden's backpack was falling apart. I was livid. Where the hell was all the money going? After doing some digging, I found out she was living it up at fancy restaurants and spas. My blood was boiling. I confronted Brigitte, and she played the victim card. She said I was overreacting and that she was just trying to have a life. I wasn't buying it. The kids were suffering because of her selfishness. I decided enough was enough. I needed to protect my kids. I started documenting everything. Every missed pickup, every time the kids were left with someone else, every ridiculous expense she made. I talked to a lawyer and we began building a case for full custody. It was a brutal process, but I was determined. When we finally got to court, Brigitte tried to paint me as the bad guy, saying I was controlling and just trying to make her miserable. But the evidence spoke for itself. I had records of her neglect, the money she wasted, and testimonies from the kids and other parents who'd seen what was going on. The judge didn't buy her sob story. Brigitte was ordered to pay back a significant amount of the child support she'd squandered, and I was granted full custody. I felt a massive weight lift off my shoulders. My kids were safe, and I had won. Brigitte's life quickly spiraled out of control. She couldn't keep up with the payments, and Lars bailed on her when the money ran dry. She lost her house and ended up moving in with her parents. She had the nerve to blame me for her downfall, claiming I ruined her life. But in reality, she did it to herself. Now, she barely sees the kids, and they're thriving. Aiden's grades improved, Isla's happier, and we're finally finding some normalcy. As for Brigitte, she's still trying to pick up the pieces of her shattered life. Karma's a bitch, and she's getting exactly what she deserves. So, yeah. That's the story of how my ex-wife dumped our kids for her boyfriend, lied about being broke, and blew all my child support money. In the end, I got full custody, sued her, and now she's losing it all. Feels good to have justice on your side.